Hey MMA fans, Cage Minds, your host Micah Frankel, here to do another interview. Very special, exciting day for us today. We're getting to interview our first UFC fighter and a fellow Albuquerque, New Mexico native, a member of Team Jackson's, Henry Martinez. Thank you, Henry, for the time. How are you feeling?
Thank you, Micah. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling ready for the fight. I've trained really hard and I'm ready. I feel good. I only had about 7 days to train for the last fight with Matt Riddle, and I feel like I'm ready for Bernardo Magahles, and I hope he's ready for me. I hope he shows up, and I hope he's a game fighter.
Okay, so on that, we know your opponent, UFC, on FX3, Bernardo Magahles. Do you have any specific thoughts on him?
I don't take any fighter lightly, so I'm going to show up and I'm just going to impose my game plan. You know, I'm not going to play into anybody's tendencies. I watched his fight and I prepared for him. I think I'm ready.
Okay, so the way I look at this matchup, he's a great Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, and he's really a control fighter. He looks to get the fight to the ground and use the control. So in my breakdown of the fight, we saw the great striking you had versus Riddle, and I think that's going to come into a huge play, keeping the fight standing and keeping him uncomfortable. Would you call that a true statement?
Well, honestly, when in the fight with Matt Riddle, in any fight, people will have these things to say about the fight. Matt Riddle said he was going to run over me, that he was bigger, stronger man, and so I kept it on the feet because I wanted to see it. You know, I was like, okay, you said you're going to knock me out, well, let's knock me out. So I kept it on the feet, and obviously I didn't get knocked out. He didn't impose his will as he planned, and really, I've wrestled my whole life, and my game's on the ground. I'm a black belt on the ground as well. That's what a lot of people don't see. People don't know who I am from previous fights. They've only seen the Matt Riddle fight. They've seen that I had some success in the stand-up, and Matt Riddle was able to take me down. I did get a takedown. I'm not going to lie. I was really tired in the third period of the fight. I took the fight on 7 days' notice. I had a broken foot. And just different factors. It's not any excuses. It's just what it is, and went to the ground. But I hope he's ready to fight because I'm game wherever the fight goes, whether it's stand up, on the ground, wrestling, Muay Thai, whatever, however he wants to fight. You better be ready to bring it because I've been in training. It's going to be a different fight.
Well, just from the 7 days notice, the fighting up a weight class, and then now hearing that you had a broken foot, it's more impressive each time then that I think about that fight with Riddle, because even from the moment of the weigh-ins, he looks a full weight class bigger than you, and it was looking like a lightweight versus a middleweight. So everything that you did in that fight was tremendous. And I have seen that you have 4 submissions on your record, and that you fought 3 times at the Jackson's Mixed Martial Arts Series. How was that experience for you in getting ready to make the transition up to the UFC?
I'm very grateful and very happy that I was able to fight for the Jackson's MMA Series. It's a very respectable promotion. I'm very thankful to Ricky Concetti for the opportunities that they gave me to fight on the Jackson's card. I was having problems finding fights, and he came through when I really needed the opportunities. And so if I can say anything, I'm very grateful for the opportunities that he did give me. And it was just great. It's a great card, and the opponents that showed up to fight, they were good opponents, and it was just a good experience overall.
Right. And then also them as a promotion, growing the regional Southwest, circuit. It's a great thing out here, and us in New Mexico getting to see these fights. We have one coming up, I believe, on June 2nd, right?
June 2nd, you're correct. June 2nd, main event, Joey Villaseñor versus Donnie Lyles. We got all our guys fighting on there, Hunter Tucker, and it's going to be a good card. So for the New Mexico fans, I hope they come out and check it out. I'll be at the fight. A lot of the UFC fighters are going to be out there representing. So come out, hang out, check us out.
Definitely.
Enjoy your time.
Definitely. Everyone needs to go to the Hard Rock Casino and check out the Jackson MMA series. So, what was that like? 7 days, getting ready for your first UFC debut. Or actually, wait, let me take it back a step. What was the call like when they first called and asked you to come in on late replacement?
Okay, so I've actually fought in the Jackson series a few weeks prior to when they called me, and I've broken my foot in that fight, had several fractures, and really I was on chill mode, just hanging out and doing my thing, eating, kind of doing what fighters do, getting fat in between fights. And the night that they actually called, I was in one of the bars downtown here in Santa Fe having a beer and eating some pork sliders when they called, and wasn't able to finish my meal because of the excitement and knowing that I the task that I had in front of me. It was just very exciting. I was more focused on the fact that I knew that I wasn't going to be in shape and that I had to show up and perform to really put on a show to dazzle the correct people and make sure that I can get my place in the UFC rather than show up and make excuses for myself. It was like I had this odd stacked against me with a broken foot and being out of shape and being up a weight class, and Matt Riddle really is a big welterweight, and just I focus more on the task rather than focusing on, okay, here's my first UFC fight. So even though I had the odds stacked against me, I think it kind of played into my favor having the odds stacked against me because I was able to get my first fight out of the way, with my focus being on other things rather than, okay, here I am fighting on the biggest stage in the world for MMA, you know.
So, in a way, do you think that late notice kind of helped you, not thinking about those other factors, and that you were just concentrating on those certain aspects, or did you feel it was a bigger disadvantage?
I think it really was. It played into my advantage. Like I said, I just focused on the fact that I needed to show up and perform. I knew that I had a big task ahead of me, and I showed up, and that was my focus, is showing up and fighting at all costs. I knew I was out of shape. I knew Matt Riddle was bigger than me. I knew that he was going to have the judges on his side, and I knew that my foot was broken, and I just had to show up and perform. That was my focus, not, oh, here I am, I'm performing in front of millions of people on FX, and whatever factors might play into my mind at that point. I just really focused on, I need to show up and I need to showcase what I can do. It was really just it was all mental to show up. I was out of shape. I honestly wasn't ready for a fight, but I'm always ready to fight as far as mentally telling myself I'm ready to fight, but you optimally want to be in shape and mentally ready as far as preparing for who you're fighting and just different things.
Okay, so going into a fight with a broken foot, all the stuff against you, that great amount of mental tenacity to keep going through all of it. But was there a moment at the weigh-ins when you looked at Riddle and you were like, damn, that guy's huge? Because that's what I thought watching the weigh-in, seeing the two of you guys next to each other. I was like, that is not right.
Honestly, I did. I really didn't. The way I was raised, and I've wrestled up several weight classes. I grew up as a wrestler. I've wrestled up several weight classes. Either you do it or you don't. And that's the way I was raised. That's the way my dad raised me. It's like, you show up, you perform, you do it, or you don't.
All right.
Or shut up. That's it.
So from 7 days' notice to now a full training class, a full training camp in your rightful weight class. We're ready to see you perform. What has the difference, though, in the training camp been now from, say, being, on the Jackson series to now being in the biggest promotion in the world?
The difference now is that before I was having to work different, different jobs. I worked for UPS. I was manager at UPS before, and I was working at different bars and teaching jiu-jitsu and whatnot. And right now with the opportunity, I just embraced it for what it is and decided that if I'm gonna make a go at it, I really want that belt. I want to be the champion someday. So I made the full commitment, and now I'm fighting and being able to really focus on fighting rather than training other people, and all my attention being spread out. I've been able to focus on fighting and myself and my diet and everything. Naturally walking around lighter than I have in several years right now. So I feel like I'm ready. I'm 100% ready, mentally, physically, and like I said, I hope Bernardo shows up, and I hope he's game to fight. I hope he puts on a fight. I hope he embraces the fact that we're both in a spot that maybe we can be caught if either of us loses, and I hope he shows up and he fights, because that's the type of fight I like to fight. I like to fight somebody. I don't want to dominate somebody. I want somebody that's gonna present some type of challenge, and hopefully we can put on a fight of the night performance, and there's a submission or knockout at the end of the fight. I want to please the fans, and I want to be an exciting fighter. I don't want to be the lazy guy that shows up and ekes out easy decision wins.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind sharing, what are you walking around at now, fighting at 155 pounds? What do you walk around at?
I've been walking around about 163.
163. So, with fighters that this happens, it just seems to be really consistent in the UFC. Guys lose, and they drop a weight class. Would becoming a featherweight ever be anywhere in your mind?
I fought at featherweight to begin with. I honestly think that I probably do belong at featherweight, but right now, dropping down from the weight class that I've been, I'm maintaining the weight to be able to fight Matt Riddle and have the weight behind my punches and strikes and everything. I'm gonna try to maintain at 55 for a moment and maybe drop down to featherweight and maybe honestly fight between both weight classes if all possible.
Okay. And then, real quick, could you talk a little bit about the training at Jackson's and also being part of having such amazing training partners, other guys that are in the UFC and everyone that's out here? Could you talk about that a little?
Training at Jackson's it's really a godsend opportunity. You know, you go into the gym and it gives you so much confidence knowing that you're training with the best of the best every day, every moment that you're doing something. And they're not just weekend warriors training to kind of fit in to do MMA. It's like the world ranks best of the best fighters in the world. You're training with guys like Donald Cerrone and Clay Guida, and just so many talented guys out there. You know, Isaac Valley Flag, he gets beat. Jay-Z Cavalcanti in Strike Force. It's like I've got so many, just this big pool of talent that I train with, and it's just an amazing opportunity to be able to do that on a daily basis.
Right. And then also, we know that the Jackson guys out here in New Mexico, you guys have the biggest gas tanks in MMA. We have to love that elevation advantage we have out here, right?
Oh, the elevation training up here in New Mexico is like Albuquerque is the elevation, and honestly, I get a little bit even more of an advantage because I live up in Santa Fe here, so I'm a few thousand feet higher every day. I live down by the edge of the ski basin down here, and I run up the mountain, which goes all the way up to 12,000 feet. So I think I've got a big advantage when it comes to the gas in the tank when I actually have the ability to train.
So, with that, because I know how far Santa Fe is from Albuquerque, how much driving time do you spend a week to drive to do the odd jobs, to do the training and whatnot?
Honestly, I've been riding the train up here, and it's kind of nice. I get to ride the train up in the morning. I have to get up real early. I get up 5 o'clock in the morning and do my morning routine, shower, make sure I have all my food cooked, and get my bag ready for the day for my diet, so I'm eating correctly. And I gotta catch the train at 7:20 in the morning. And get up there, training. I get to the gym about 9:30 in 10 minutes, and got normal practice. And I gotta get back down to Santa Fe and to my strength and conditioning down here. The elevation's a little bit higher, so I really want as many amenities as I can have as possible. But the train ride, it's a little difficult on the body having to wait for the train ride. The train ride's about an hour. It's only about 45-minute drive, but the train ride's about an hour and 40 minutes because of the various stops that they make. And it does play its toll, but I'm really happy with the way things are going right now.
You sound in good spirits. We can't wait to see you perform. Wanted to wish you the best of luck and remind everyone out there in New Mexico that on June 2nd they need to come out and support Jackson's MMA series, and then the following Friday everyone needs to tune in to FX for FX UFC on FX3. Check out Henry Martinez. One last question, Henry. Do you know if your fight's going to be shown on FX or Fuel, the prelims?
At this point, I really don't know. I wish I could say that. I apologize for not knowing where my fight's going to be shown. But wherever it's shown, please just show up and watch the fight if you can on Friday, June the 8th. I really appreciate the support, and Saturday night, June the 2nd. Show up and support all your local fighters. These guys are the up-and-coming. They are the best of the best. And you're going to see them soon. They're the guys that are making waves. So show up and support them. Thank you so much to everybody that watches MMA. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the interview. And I just hope everybody who watches the fight is ready for fireworks, because I'm coming out to fight.
Okay, give you another minute. If you wanted to shout out to the training partners, the sponsors, and your trainers, go for it right now too.
Yeah, thank you to Tate Fletcher. Thank you for everything all the opportunities that you've given me. Thank you to my strength and conditioning coaches, Luis Castillo and Ruben Rivera. Thank you to all my training partners up at Jackson's, Coy Guida, John Dodson, Diego Brandao, Isaac Valley Flag, Donald Cowboy Cerrone. There's so many good people. If I haven't mentioned you, I apologize. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Jackson, for everything that you do for me. And thank you, Coach Mike Winklejohn, for all the great stand-up training. And I just appreciate everything. Thank you, like I said, to Ricky Cottonsteady. Everything that you've done for me, I appreciate it. And thank you so much. Thank you to my sponsors. And just be ready, people, because I'm coming to fight.
We'll be ready and watching. Thank you very much for the time for the interview. And for everyone watching, one last thing. Me and Henry both want to send out our deepest condolences to the family of Johnny Tapia, New Mexico boxing legend, who passed away on Sunday. This has been Cage Mind.
Rest in peace, Johnny Tapia. He's an amazing fighter, and he will be missed in New Mexico. So my condolences go out to your family, and best wishes in your journey, brother.
Right, this has been Cage Minds. Check out our shows, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button for watching. Make sure to watch Henry Martinez fight. Uncage the warrior within yourself. Have a good night.